Dear students, in this lecture, we will prove Bessel's inequality. Before we prove Bessel's inequality, we will prove some result which is required to prove Bessel's inequality. Let us see the result. Let EI be an orthonormal set. Let EI be an orthonormal set in H. EI be an orthonormal set in H. H is Hilbert space. So let me put it clearly in Hilbert space H. If X is any vector, if X is any vector in H, if X is any vector in H, then the set EI such that inner product of X and EI is non-zero is empty or countable, is empty or countable. It cannot be uncountable set. So it will contain finitely many or countably infinite vectors, but it cannot be uncountable. So proof is quite simple. For each positive integer n, for each positive integer n, define for each positive integer n, define Sn is equal to set of those vectors EI for which mod X EI square is greater than norm X square upon n. From the previous result, we have, by the last theorem or previous theorem, we have, by last theorem or previous, as I mentioned, I is equal to 1 to n mod X EI square is always less equal to norm X square for any n, where E1, E2, En is orthonormal set. If such a n orthonormal vectors we have from this set, E1, E2, En, if we have such a n vectors from this set, then this is always satisfied. Hence, Sn can have at the most, because if it contains n or more than n vectors, then this inequality will be contradicted. You can easily observe, if we add such n vectors, n gets cancelled and it will be greater than x, norm X square, and this will contradict the inequality. If we add such a n terms, so that will contradict the inequality, because that will be greater than norm X square. nn gets cancelled and we will have that it will be greater than x square. So that will be a contradiction. Hence, Sn can have at the most n minus 1 vectors. At the most n minus 1 vectors. So this is first. Also, it is easy to observe that the set S, we can call this as the set S, as equal to, it is countable union of these Sn's. It is greater than, it is not equal to 0, means modulus of this, in fact I could write as set of those EIs for which mod of inner product XEI is greater than 0. So if you take into account this, then S can be written in this form. So from first and second, let me put the statement first. A countable union of finite sets is countable. A countable union of finite set is countable. So from first and second, it follows that S is empty or countable. S is countable. In case it doesn't contain any vector, that is okay. But at the most, it contains, each Sn contains set n minus 1 vector. So S will be countable. If each Sn is empty, then S will also be empty. Okay. So this proves the result. Let us prove the Besel's inequality theorem. Will prove Besel's inequality. The statement of Besel's inequality is this: let EI be an orthonormal set, let BI be an orthonormal set in a Hilbert space H, in a Hilbert space H, if X is any vector in H, if X is any vector in H, then this is always true. Mod xi e square is always less equal to norm of x square. Proof. So we begin with this sum will be interpreted depending on the nature of set O. So O is say this orthonormal set, so it depends on the nature of the set O or this set. So for the time being, let us say this is sum, and it will be interpreted in different ways depending on whether it is finite, empty, countable or maybe uncountable. So depending on that. So we are going to use this result which we have proved. For any given vector S, for any given vector x in H, consider the set S as, define the set S as S is equal to set of all those vectors EI for which inner product of x and EI is non-zero, and that actually equals to set of all those EI for which mod x EI square is not 0, that is it is greater than 0. EI square or mod xei. You can take square as well as this. Okay. So S is the same set which we have defined in the earlier theorem. By the theorem which we have proved just now, S is countable. So by the previous theorem which we have proved, by the previous theorem, S is countable. As such, we consider three possibilities. So we consider three possibilities. We consider three possibilities. Which will be these three possibilities? The first possibility is that S is empty. It is countable means it will be finite, it will be empty, or it will contain countably infinite vectors. So if S is equal to phi, what it means? Then by definition of S, xei is equal to 0 for every I, hence we have this summation can be interpreted as sum of all our zeros which equals to 0, and 0 is clearly less equal to norm of x square. So this proves the inequality when S is empty set. Second possibility, S is finite. Second possibility, S is non-empty and finite. Non-empty and finite. So take S is equal to, it is finite set, so we can prove S as the S is equal to E1, E2, En by the known theorem, or by the theorem which we have proved in the previous lecture. We have mod xei square. So all terms will be 0 except finitely many, and these finitely many terms are I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square, mod x ei square, and this Binom theorem which we proved in last lecture, this is always less equal to norm x square. So again we are done with Bedel's inequality in second case, second possibility. Now third possibility is that it is countably infinite. S cannot be uncountable. So we only have three possibilities. S is countably infinite. S is countably infinite. Countably infinite. Take S is equal to the set E1, E2, E3 and so on. So this is countably infinite set. For each positive integer, n, define the sequence Tn as I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square. I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square. Then the sequence Tn is a sequence of partial sums of the series, I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square. I is equal to 1 to infinity mod x ei square. This is a series of non-negative real numbers. So we are again going to use this result which we proved. Now for each n belongs, for each positive integer n, we have mod Tn equals to I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square, and that is always less equal to norm x square. This result we have already proved that if we have E1, E2, En as orthonormal vectors, then for any vector x in Hilbert spaces, this result always holds. So the sequence Tn of partial sums of the series I is equal to 1 to infinity mod x ei square of non-negative real numbers is bounded by norm x square of non-negative real numbers is bounded Hence, we know the fundamental result from real analysis or from the theory of series of real numbers. If sequence of partial sums of the series of non-negative real numbers is bounded, then that series is convergent. So the sequence of partial sums of the non-negative of series of non-negative real numbers is bounded. Hence, it is convergent series. We are using the fundamental result that series of non-negative real numbers is convergent if and only if its sequence of partial sums is bounded. Hence, the series I is equal to 1 to infinity mod xci square is convergent. Further, so this sum exists finitely. We define this summation as mod x ei square equals to value of this series I is equal to 1 to infinity mod x ei square. This sum is well defined. This sum is well defined. So note that this is one of the representation of set. We may have infinitely many different representations. Like S, I could also write it as say E2, E1, E4, E3, and so on. So in order that this sum is well defined, we must assure that sum remains unchanged on rearrangement of terms. So the sum is well defined because series is absolutely convergent, because value of the series, value of absolutely convergent series, or value of series of non-negative real numbers, value of series of non-negative real numbers, series of value of convergent series of non-negative real numbers, value of series of non-negative real numbers is unchanged on rearrangement, provided it is convergent. Rearrangement if it is convergent. So it is important that this series, this sum which is stated in the statement, is well defined. So this sum is well defined because value of series of non-negative real numbers is unchanged on rearrangement if it is convergent. So the sum we have defined, we have interpreted it. Now we will prove the inequality. Consider Tn is less equal to norm x square for all n belongs to I. This is already we have for all n. This is already we have observed. So this implies limit of Tn is less equal to norm of x square. Why this limit exists? Because series is convergent, so limit of Tn exists, and limit of sequence of partial sums is nothing but value of the series. So let me add a few steps. I is equal to 1 to n mod x ei square is less equal to norm x square. Limit of partial sum is nothing but value of the series. So this I could write as I is equal to 1 to infinity mod x ei square is less equal to norm x square, and as we have defined this sum to be equal to the sum mod x ei square. Here we have defined this sum, so this is less equal to norm x square. This completes the proof of Bedel's inequality in all possible cases. Thank you.